Bigbossjock, part 30 of the reading. Book of Poems. Tick-tock, situation is about to go off. Bigbossjock radio show, airing live on the mighty 750 kilohertz AM. Inside of me is our one only God, Father in heaven, Allah. He helps me do this rhyme, and I do give my thanks to our one only God, Allah, Father in heaven. Bienvenido al programa. Soy el locutor, el gran jefe. Al intro a mí se encuentra nuestro único Dios. Él me ayuda a hacer esa rima. Por mi parte, yo doy gracias a nuestro único Dios. Siguiendo con parte 30 de la leída, el libro de poesía, Tick-tock, situation's about to go off. Tonight, I wrote this on October 21st of 2017, and it's currently the same, and I'm in the middle of November. I sit at blank, 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 Weldon Street. House at blank, 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 3 blanks. I'm not giving out the exact addresses. Weldon Street, some houses from me. Residency owned by Rutherford. There currently lives Jessica Geezy, married to White Thorne. They frequent often there. At times also are live-ins. Greg Marshall with Jeff Blassingham, including his Shasta Junior College's David Cooper, Roger Rainey, Jared Dunn Jr., Curtis Parsons, along with various others, including many George Sr.'s homeboys. That's in parentheses. Those are felons, mostly felons. Almost all of them that did time with me. All of them did time with me. Almost all of them are felons. Their sentences were lifted along with their records expunged. Everything sealed behind U.S. national security. If you're not going to be familiar with Jessica Geezy. In the 70s, they pronounced their name Jeezy. This is all done to get my mind spinning. She had an aunt named Kathy, part of the story. There is an unborn baby, had my DNA. Captain Dave Gingery of the Oakland PD, now currently Dave Gingery of the Reading PD. He put together a group who abused sexually Kathy. At the end of the event would be a murdered baby with a left in the bathtub dying Kathy. Everything was hush-hush, cleared up, covered by U.S. national security. Kathy, some weeks later, took her own life. Statute of limitations, murder. Well, I was the father. Shouldn't there be an investigation? I believe there should be. All this is being kept secret under U.S. national security. Who would be named for murder one premeditated would be no other than Paula Sue. Who I know is mom also. Yeah, who also would be implicated? Pamela Diane, along with Wendell Lew, leader of the group. He called often, gave orders during the event where I was also sexually abused. November, Jessica is Kathy's niece. Kathy passed away in 78. Jessica was born in 82. And her existence here, as far as an adult, she's been included in the events, many, one after another. Been able to participate in abusing me. sexually abusing me, torturing me. And when I use those words, they don't actually describe the actions. You'll find out the techniques what were used, and you decide for yourself the meaning of torture. Speaking to you, listeners, I wasn't waterboarded. Not during that event. Well, yeah, actually I was. They wanted to show me it wasn't drop board. That's Yankee Sam. I'm talking about from 11 to 15. November of 2017, as of currently nightly, I need to listen 900.0000 megahertz FM. First, I must listen their pre-sex conversations. And this isn't only with Wade. This is with men such as Greg Marshall, Jeff Blassingham, the Homeboys. That means 15 different felons that did time with me. Or is there 11? 11, yeah. On and on. She is a prostitute, porn actress, at the same while has a federal identity and is an agent of the CIA. I heard for a while she made it to the DIA. I don't know, maybe she's still there. Her with her husband before Wade, who was Brendan Kirk, Alameda High, class of 2002. Her with him and others often flew on the Sonics to Iquitos and were allowed to sexually abuse me, abusing their U.S. federal credentials, not really, acting under U.S. national security. Were allowed to do what they pleased with Stimoceiver 0067. First, I must listen. Their pre-sex conversations, interactions, them fornicating. Jessica afterward pretends guilty, says she feels. Proceeds, makes me confessions with intel descriptions. Every interaction during fornication, then about her emotions, further about her relationships. Afterward, feels so much better. While I sleep, since I was young, 8 years of age, I am tortured to answer. Obligatory. Have to reply back. I'm talking about electroshock. Tell the singe taste in the mouth. That kind of torture. Well, and a whole lot of sexual abuse. Well, and then the electroshock for the reinforcement. Well, in a subconscious slumber, obligated, I need to reply back. Asleep, I need to tell her that I still love her or she won't leave. Then she says, thanks. With a giddy voice, continues, be back the next night, bye-bye, have a good night. Then usually the command center, at the exact moment, sends me RF to the implant, suddenly jolts me awake. Jessica talks with me as what a woman, females often do with queers, that I am another who cheers. Listen is right there, enjoys paying attention to her, thinks of me as her faggot, hasn't been much fun, being everyone's bitch slave. Little tired of this hitch. For nearly 2 years, I have asked the FBI, requested a jammer. I'm tormented nightly. Not only by Jessica's games, nightly CIA night operators on shift inside the dam. Oftentimes that is an Unger brother, maybe an Unger sister, Nancy Jo Martineau Unger, maybe with Carolyn Martineau Evans. Those two sisters live together. John Unger, along with the many others, incessantly during the night communicate with me. Communicate equivalates to torment. Not as if they just say hi, make some mundane comment. Example, if they want, repeat, you are a faggot. Computer program can do that over again, over thousands of times, all during one night. Computer program also is able, repeatedly sends RF, hits the implants located from my feet to my head, along with previous made pin inserts, pulse those points, make the muscles contract up to 30 per second, all over my body, including my face, nose, twitches, quiver, the lips. They make my life miserable. Spasms through all my muscles. They can crank the RF up Spasms turn into full cramps, depending on my slumber. I get roughly 5 hours of sleep. That time is not at ease. I am tortured daily. Denied I am a jammer. Illegal is own one. That's why when I order, don't receive all the parts. LadyOutta.net Wave Bubble Jammer, $200 in parts, $30 in double-sided circuit boards. Yankee Salmon 11, 2011, $400 in parts, enough to make 2.5 jammers. Package got delivered. John Unger with David Martineau. CIA John Unger with made it to the DIA David Martineau. Arrived at 312 Weldon Street. Oh, shit. I just gave my address. No, I have another one I can't post. Well, not until I edit. On them, U.S. federal IDs, along with war disguises, knocked the door. They identified themselves, then turned on the gamma ray, took out the microprocessor, along with the oscillators, sexually assaulted me. There's 2 oscillators and a microprocessor, the main components of the jammer. November 2017, as of currently, more than 7 years, still haven't been able, can't put one together. I'm full of frustration, tormented along with tortured. 900 megahertz FM, direct connect to my mind, online all the time, never allowed to rest, treated as when I was younger, no different than when I was a teenager. I'm 47 years old. Yankee Sam slave drives, works me to the bone. This situation is about to explode. Tick tock, about to go off. 11 to 15. Bill, currently at, and I'll leave the numbers off, and he lives on Freebridge Street. 75, formerly Captain Calvert, member of a military tribunal, Saigon City, Vietnam, 75. During 11 to 15, Bill put on a disguise, flew often on the Sonics, played the part of the owner, known as Captain Bob Iquitos, Peru, local contributor, writer for a newspaper, owner of a restaurant cafe located on the known Boulevard, Iquitos, Peru. He, with others, gamma-rayed, then sexually assaulted me in front of the public during business hours, often at his restaurant located north end of the Boulevard. Roger Rainey, his partners, Iquitos with a Belgian man, bistro together they own, located on Ramirez Hurtado, block away from the Boulevard. There I was gamma-rayed, frequently sexually abused. Most often took place during business daytime hours, production in front of the public, along with early to late evening times when I needed to walk by. Every night then I needed to ask John Martineau, beg for more money. That's the way it felt for me. So that I could again eat day by day. I lived on a string. Still am living that way. Only that here in the Yankee Empire, I get to eat every day. Murillo. Well, there's an Amarillo and there's a Murillo. Like an armadillo. And if you're familiar with that animal, it lives in the Amazon. It goes by Chosney. Yeah, they have another name there. Oh, I have a nice picture. Yeah, Nikki has it on her shoulder. Back then we were a family. Well, Yankee Sam designed this to inflict the most pain they could on me. Somehow, well, other than this last visit, I was able to see my daughter not gamma-rayed 2.5 hours. But now there's 9 days, I can say. We had a 9-day visit. It was interesting. Bob Benson, that lives at the end of Mahan Street. Yeah. He doesn't need to worry. He has a federal identity, and that's his old name. Before he there lived in a trailer. Been on that same land. Parcel is an Earl Hawkins estate marker. Back in the 70s, been a little wire fence, bordered Bob's front yard. Short, with barbed wire wrapped, intertwined through the top wire. Photos of the Martineau's residency on ... Weldon Street had a similar fence, lined the side their driveway. Martineau's been a bit shorter. Same style though. I've been taken frequently, every day for years, led to Bob's house. Specifically 72 to 75. Ended the war. Never went back anymore. Everything that happened at Bob's supposedly was at the war. And another story. This is the way the CIA... Well, no, I did get taken back more. But he wasn't Bob anymore. He had another name. Had another face. Put on disguises. 74, residents of Bob Benson. Property is an Earl Hawkins estate marker. On the lot had a trailer, gamma raid. He sexually abused me. After, had me look into the bush. Friendly smile with pat on the back. Good to see you made it back. Maybe you want to come over again. Talk some more Nam stories. Usually told him I would. He knew a few others want to hear my stories about the war. Left out through small opening in his fence. He had a door opening, but he preferred I entered the breach, then pass into the foliage. With the overgrowth been quite dark, seemed as a land far away where I'd been. Stepped out through the reeds, back into the street, just I had mentioned. Didn't need some, Uncle. Accompanied me for the only reason I needed to take a walk. Took some steps, then a few more. Who was watching? Been the cops. They came up, asked me what I'd been doing. Told them been talking to my buddy. And it wasn't them, it was one cop. Copper asked me, what about? Told him I just got back, been out on an op. That been pulled off, back taking a little R&R. Used all the lingo such as when I'm at the rodeo. Copper had on a uniform. I talked as a soldier. Just like I've been trained. He knew I was flying, that I traveled often, taken to the Republic of Vietnam. While there I was soldiering. One more who fought in the war. Copper was upset, quite troubled. He did wind up folding, but before that Bob Benson got issued a warrant. Children entering, also exiting, often from his property. Shawnee was named, not any other name, exists in CIA agent Bob Benson's file. Is there of today. But what they did find was that there was many children from the school that's across the street had been taken to Bob's residency. So then he changed his name and moved the trailer, and that man moved away. Everything was hushed under U.S. national security, and we're talking many, many, many children. The number got up into the 80s. I know it got that far before invoked was U.S. national security. All from the school, Juniper. Copper had asked me while at Bob's what occurred. Bob had viciously abused me, left me bleeding from my anus. Copper asked me why, told him what Bob told me, that what Bob had done, he did that to me in the bushes. Copper understood I was confused, caught on real quick, tricks were being used. He wasn't at all fooled. He knew what to do, had me get in his car, took me back to the Martineau's. He knew I hadn't been hurt at war, that happened in the bushes at Bob's, and that they were confusing me, getting me to think that was Vietnam. Took me back to the Martineau's. Upon arrival, Copper gave them a scolding, said child shouldn't be alone. At 4 years old, found walking near the school, saw the indifference in Howard's face. Bell loop, then he grabbed. Was going to beat me. Copper said, you're not thinking, whipping this child in front of me. Continued, was going put that also. Report he'd be filing. Martineau's had more authority. Club cards from the CIA. Cop couldn't do anything that day other than have opened an investigation. Said to me before leaving, he was very sorry that I was returned. Should have left me there. That's what I had mentioned. Let him know that before he returned me back. That is to the residency of the Martineau's. Found word that children, many, been taken, entered into Bob's front yard, been a little wire fence. Oh, that's just repeating. Yeah, well, there was an investigation. And one of the superintendents at the school, his name then, well, he still is, Kip, and he's been involved. He has a son that's in the same class as mine. Same class as mine. I'm in their class. Class of 88. I don't belong with that. And why I didn't drop out of school, such as suggested Sue, well, I wouldn't have any friends. They kept programming me to go to school. Otherwise, I couldn't go to my reunion. It was ridiculous why I went to school. I was an emancipated minor. Somewhere in my mind, I knew that. I should have dropped out when I was 14. Sue kept encouraging me. Every day I was sexually assaulted, abused by various school, from the workers to the children that attended. They became young adults. In this land of the empire, they call them teenagers. They're young adults. Well, that's going to have to be it for there. I'm going to send this to copyright and upload. I will continue on, and when I get another $55, well, hey, I'll have a whole series, because I'm going to attempt to do some more readings, reciting of the poems. It is all one rhyme, and there are over 1,000 pages. More to come. For now, though, this is the Bigbossjock, reminding everyone, such as our one only God's right here inside of me, He's right there inside of you also. And it's depending of each one of us to make that connection and closer unite with our one only God. And you out there who enjoy art and our talents, they are in many forms, not only in art. Watch how they flourish when you're able to unite with our one only God. In order to do that, it takes living a high moral value way of life. So get ready to change your style and then see how it is when you're able to unite and be not only ready, make the step. Choose for yourselves to do things another way. Drop the idols. Pick up our God. Focus your attention there, where your faith should be placed. Bigbossjock, giving a thanks. I thank you to our one only God, Father in heaven, Allah. He helps me do this rhyme. And I do say thank you to our Allah, Father in heaven, our one only God. Signing off. Soy el locutor, el gran jefe. Esa fue la última emisión antes que cierro la cuenta con el registro de copyright. Ya venció el plazo de tiempo. Próxima vez que tengo unos $55, voy a subir otra serie de leídas del libro de poesía. Yankee Sam, TikTok situations about to go off, dog-eared marker, food that was too food, leave the group. That's me. Earl Hawkins family history. Flag marker to the mark. Fernando fuera.